Thanks, Josh. Spend money. Oh, you got most of that. Or
To a large portion of
that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
All right, good morning. We have Tuesday, May 26, 2026. We are in the Chickasaw County Courthouse in the boardroom. You will call the supervisor meeting to convene. Roll call, all members are present, along with Board Secretary Sheila Shackleton. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda that was posted Friday?
Second.
Motion by Travis, second by Isaac to approve May 26th agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Approve the minutes from last Monday, May 18th.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Travis to approve the May 18th board minutes. Any discussion, corrections? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yes, got a little I'm gonna put on the committee assignments. Travis, have anything?
No.
Scott?
Yeah, I got a couple. May 14th at Northeast Iowa Response Group meeting. It was kind of an emergency meeting. It's not our normal monthly meeting. We were having some banking concerns. We did put a committee together to explore switching banks. We were having some issues with some fees and stuff that we didn't feel was necessary. And then we just had an update on, well, we're looking into the bylaws, I guess. Having trouble with voting members being available for some of the executive board positions. So they're looking at trying to maybe update the bylaws to let EMA directors have the ability to vote and take office as treasurer, board members, whatever. So that was pretty much it for the NERD meeting. Then last Thursday, May 21st, I had a Intercog Transit Authority meeting. We had a public hearing and approved the fiscal year 2026 transportation planning work program. That was all we did on that. So.
Isaac, area?
Yeah, that CI 19th. We introduced a new director, Lacey Waller. She just took over. She went over her financial outlook for the year. They didn't really pass anything, but they proposed salaries for the director and her assistant. And then they had a little extra funds that they needed to use up, so they're going to split $10,000 between 6 preschools.
Okay. So what? Radio is that?
FMC, ECI.
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 ECI,
Yeah. And that's all I have.
Okay, Steve?
Yeah, I got Northeast Iowa Community Action on May 18th. Went through the audit, financial audit. Said it was the cleanest community action audit they've had. So, and the only other thing on that was there was a disclosure of the board that they had an employee that applied for low income heating assistance, and they misrepresented the number of household members in the application. They did an internal investigation. The employee resigned. Now it's getting turned over to the state HHS to take over the investigation. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say.
So on May 20th at FMC DCAT, They have letters that were prepared, not able to send out yet until the governor signs the bill. But they have to change the verbiage a little bit because they were talking that was terminating the contract. And they said they don't want to say terminating because it doesn't sound good. So they're gonna either say it's expiring contract or non-renewal. There's a fair amount of money they have money that come from HHS will go back to HHS, money that come from JCS will go back to JCS. There is some seed money that's over 20,000 that came from the 3 counties that's gonna go back to the counties. I asked if it was put in evenly. As far as I can tell, it was, but it's been done so long ago that anybody that was in there knows not alive anymore. What they told us is that money, it can either go to your general assistance or child abuse prevention council, which I don't know how they can decide where our money goes back to, but that's what HHS.
Maybe they're recommending that, but if it goes to the general fund, I think it's up to us to decide where that goes, but.
So the next meeting was set for June 17th, but it might be canceled because it might not be anything going on, so
So what date was that meeting?
that was May 20th.
Did you guys vote then to just dissolve or?
We did not because the bill hasn't been signed yet by the governor, so until that happens,
Don't know.
we don't know. We assume, but
So I'm just wondering, as an individual, you just gonna let the bill dissolve it, or is that your committee gonna just dissolve?
that's kind of the consensus was that
Let the bill control it? Huh, any questions? All right, public comment, any public comment, Sheila?
There was no written comment, no.
All right, next thing is open up sealed bids for the courthouse window project. I checked the website this morning and it was still on there that bids were due by 9 o'clock this morning. I know Dave, you've had inquiries about it, 5 or 6 of them. Looks like we have 5 that were timestamped before 9 o'clock. I'm gonna look over to the county attorney. I mean, we can open them up and then have the public hearing after.
Yeah, I think you should open them now.
Okay.
You can have your public hearing on the proposed project, and then you can approve of the specifications, and then you can wait and have the engineer review them more thoroughly and award the contract at a future date if you want. If there's follow-up information that's needed from them. I mean, I think it contemplates you award the contract today, but there's nothing that says you have to. So I think you can open them now, have a public hearing, take any public comments. And then that also gives the public a chance to comment, perhaps put it on next week, if you plan to award a contract next week, as well, both times.
And I believe there was 3 exhibits, A, B, and C. One was the shades, the tint, which windows were being done, and then a follow-up, exhibit C was the breakouts. So hopefully those all got submitted to everybody. In no specific order, I'll just do this one first. The board does have a sheet of paper that shows all 5 of them. So we are doing Elite Glass and Metal. Elite Glass and Metal LLC, Johnston, Iowa. Total lump sum is $925,000. On their bid sheet, they did put windows bid as commercial grade aluminum windows instead of wood windows.
Just so the record's clear, people could have bid wood or aluminum.
Correct.
A and M&J Construction LLC out of Cresco, Iowa. Lump sum $974,298. Oh, you do that work. Carno Construction out of Waterloo. $872,000.
Is that all again, Jay?
872.
Is that where the number going now?
I would assume that probably would. It doesn't specify. Steggy Construction out of Waverly. $797,055. $797,55. And then the last one is CR Glass out of Cedar Rapids. $895,850. $895,850. And that one was gonna be aluminum. I know that one, called Dave Gorman, and they don't sell any wood windows. I think Roman, we put the estimate of about 800,000. This is what we kind of estimate the project as. So they're all within that, a little bit over on metal or wood. Any questions, board members?
Did Stady specify what?
I think it was gonna be wood. Do you know?
I'm just a bit runner there.
It's just a bit. We'll confirm all that, and that's what the follow-up questions would have to be, to see if they did do metal or wood.
The contact for him is on that.
Okay.
form.
Otherwise, that process is done. Got 9:13, we're gonna hold a public hearing on the public improvement for the courthouse window project. Is there a motion to enter the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Steve, to open the public hearing for the public improvement for the courthouse window replacement project at 9:13. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Scott?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Jake, aye. Motion is carried. We are in a public hearing. Any written comments from taxpayers, citizens?
I have to see it. And I can ask one more time.
Yep.
You gotta give it. Oh,
Any public citizens as a taxpayer of Chickasaw County or resident of Chickasaw County?
When were these old windows installed?
When were the windows installed, Dave? 70?
Nearest I could tell late 70s or around 80. So they're.
Probably the second set or maybe third set. Courthouse was built, I believe, 1923,
29.
29.
I don't know if there was a set before them or not.
Any board has heard anything from the public you want to discuss at this open public hearing? I haven't heard nothing. It's one of those things we have to keep updated when we know that some don't work. UV comes in pretty hot on the south side. Some are broken. Some cranks don't work, can't get them shut.
Every year, there's a few more that don't work, so.
The only comment I heard was the question I asked, the age of them, so.
Age of, If there's nothing else, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion by Isaac, second by Steve, to close the public hearing at 9:15. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Isaac?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake? A motion is carried. So the next step, we do have a resolution prepared to approve the proposed plans, specs, forms of contract, and estimated total cost of the public improvement project. You guys had that in the board packet on Friday. This does not set the award. It just says we are resolution 526-26-33, a resolution approving proposed plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated total cost of public improvement project. Notice of the public hearing we just had. There was no verbal and no written comments from citizens. And if we approve this, we are approving the proposed plans, rectifications, form of contract, and estimate total cost.
Yes, this is just Iowa code mandates that after the public hearing, through 26.12, you have to have a resolution approving those things. I think it contemplates it'll be a two-step process, approving this and approving the contract. Traditionally, since I've been up here for your guys' project, we've done those on the same day, but there's nothing that says we have to. I think this project, considering we have different options as far as what we're looking at and some other variables, I think it's prudent to approve that today if you want, or delay and approve them both next Monday. But the bottom line is I think it's prudent to have Roman, the engineer, go through it and make sure T's are crossed and I's are dotted, and then make a recommendation as to which
But if you
responsible bidder you want.
But if you advertised aluminum or wood, I mean, that's in your spec, so I think you are required to award it to the lowest responsible bidder, which is Staggy in this situation. I don't think you get to pick or choose aluminum versus wood unless I didn't see that in there.
Responsible bidder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the majority of the board doesn't want something because they don't feel they're responsible or they're responsive, I think that's.
But that wouldn't have anything to do with wood versus aluminum, because they were both allowed in this.
I would agree, yes, unless it's a personal preference, but yes, I mean, they all comply with the bid documents, the bid instructions. Yes, but one of the board members may say, hey, I have a reputation for John Doe Construction, and everyone I talk to says John Doe Construction is awesome or is terrible. I'm not voting for that, that's their personal prerogative. But yes, I agree, on our end, legally, as long as they've complied, they're eligible to be the responsible bidder, yes. Yep.
We'll confirm what they bid on that and then get back next Monday, but you guys wanna do this resolution now on the approving proposed plan, specs, form of contract, and estimate total cost? I don't know why we can't do that one today.
Pardon?
I don't know why we couldn't do resolution
Yeah,
33.
you can either do it today, or you can wait and do both of them next week when you intend to award the contract, unless you're rejecting all bids, I don't know. That's up to you guys.
I'm fine with the next day.
Is that a motion, Scott?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 33.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis to approve resolution 526-26-33, a resolution approving the proposed plan, specifications, form of contract, and estimate total cost of the public improvement project. Any discussion? If not, roll call. Scott?
Aye.
Travis? Steve?
Aye.
Isaac?
Aye.
Jake? Aye. Motion is carried. 5-0. We will get back on next Monday with the responsible bid.
Responsive,
Yes.
Lowest responsive.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Norman.
Yep. You wanna just bring those to me whenever,
Yeah.
review them and.
Here, I can give it to you right now.
I can stop it at, all you need to see it.
Do we want to stay?
Dave, yes, if you wanna stay for one more thing.
Turn it down.
Discuss county buildings and department locations. I put this on here just to have this discussion. I don't know if we want total action or a consensus, but we all know the governor signed the property tax bill last week. It's been talked about many times about number of buildings Chickasaw County, our head custodian has to maintain. We do know that there's the engineer's office moving, I would say July or August to a new location, which opens up the current engineer's office. I think it's time to have that talk about consolidation of buildings, potentially selling some building or buildings and moving some offices to other locations. If you guys recall, in the current budget, we have $50,000 out of capital projects for the Heritage Center for demo, putting walls up. And we also have $10,000 in the Heritage capital projects for engineer architect services. Many years ago, we did hire somebody to do a demo of the north wing. An architect, I believe it was, Strawberry. Yeah, Gardner. Yep. And I think the estimate was about $90,000 just to demo the north wing. That was the estimate from that architect firm. Just looking at options of potentially selling LEMC and then relocating the two office holders of that office, the attorney's office and EMA. We know some buildings need updated, parking lots. Dave, you've shared with us that the parking lot needs some cost, repairs. Is there any way to, move rescue squad to our ambulance shed? To give Dave a shop, because if we sold the LEMC, he would lose that shop that you do store a lot of lawn equipment in. Or can we store the lawn equipment at the ambulance shed? Very much at the sheriff's office to store. Could we store some stuff at the Heritage garage? The heated one or in the cold storage?
Yeah, as it sits now, we have a lot of used office equipment down at the law office again.
Yeah, we do.
It seems as the years have gone by, we're definitely gonna need a storage area for our office equipment that is either going to be resold or discarded or whatever. I mean, if we do not have the law office garage, we definitely need to find a home for that stuff, because that garage is pretty full again.
It has, and I know some of it's been spoken for the engineer's office. A lot of that came from the treasurer's office. Last couple of months. Filing cabinets are in there again. Chairs again. The garage is probably half full of furniture.
I would say.
And it's a big green space at the LEMC. So I don't know if you guys want to move on demoing the north wing or even just the northwest quarter of the north wing and potentially move the county attorney there. Some of us knows your feelings about going to the courthouse, and I do see it.
And there isn't space either. I'm sorry, but there isn't space over there for us. We need a conference room to spread things out. We have hearings and trials. We meet affected parties, victims, various persons, law enforcement when they come in. I mean, Ryan has a nice conference office over there, but the city doesn't have real good space to do that type of work, prepare for depositions and whatnot. So, I mean, ideally, Michelle also there's an office down there with our storage for all of our files, which would fill Roman's back office back there.
I don't,
So, yeah, it's a personal preference, and I just think there's a space in this area over here. If you took all this, is there space? I don't know. She also has some stuff stored down at the
just,
our building as well. Does that open this space here for a voting vestibule? We use that a couple times
yeah,
years, but I mean, can this space be repurposed along that space? I don't know.
the Heritage has so much open space, even the south basement where the chiller is dry and clean and it's concrete and there's nothing there. Door on the south side, ground level. I really think a lot of the stuff that's at the LEMC will fit the Heritage. It's just gonna take time.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Have a auction before though, when the engineers I think they put some stickers on the furniture they want, one or two desks. Let the county offices look through them again and then sell them to the public. If we don't get no bid, trash them or recycle them. If I did the math right, I did ask Sheila this morning what our GB levy was, and our total property tax was around 4.9 million. The way I understand the law, you take a 2% on that tax asking, we're gonna generate about $96,000 of new GB property tax, give or take.
And then how much is the LEMC budget, about 30, 35?
About 35.
So you wouldn't have that budget anymore.
You would eliminate that budget. You would eliminate that budget, and I know none of your staff is actually paid out of that budget. So that opens up your staff to do other things. So I'm throwing out, we have to remember to think about who's going into the current engineer's office. Is that IT? Is that us? Does this room turn into the election room for absentee voting, early voting?
It looks pretty nice to do it. Got
Do we
better
move
lighting.
down to the Heritage Center? In the conference room?
How much longer do we have absentee or early voting?
It should be done by, absentee should be done by Monday.
No, what I'm saying is for future elections, are we going to have that?
Oh, yeah.
Changes could be happening.
Right, I mean, they've been trimming it for the last several cycles, they've been condensing and trimming.
Is there a way you can move? We have an EMC meeting tomorrow night, but is there a room where we can move Jeff to the command EOC? I don't know. We need to look at if Lisa's using both of those small offices across from the environmental health, that one. Just keep options open. I don't know if you guys want to use the 50,000 that's in the budget, to start bringing a dumpster in and demo that northwest corner out of this fiscal year. It would have been a good winter project to demo the ceilings and there's not much else your staff can do.
The Heritage Building is in really good shape now. I mean, we've done a lot of corrections down there from the last agency that was using that building, and I guess it's my own thought that the future of the county to save money and consolidate would be move towards putting as much as you can down there. The building's in great shape. The roof is brand new. The structure itself is great. The windows are good. I see a lot of potential there.
It has a backup generator. It has access to 2 fiber lines in the road ditch. Has 3-phase power, has New Hampton power, which also has backup generators, has city water. I think if the county's gonna move to 2 or 3 buildings, it's gonna be the courthouse in that building in the years to come. And that's where we could have a backup server. We talked about that last week a little bit. I just think before we start spending more money on dark fiber and putting dual internet we need to figure out what we are gonna keep for the future. And I know this would be a long process to get Dave some ideas of what that northwest wing would look like, or the northeast wing. I don't think you need both of them, that's just my personal opinion. I think we could easily put you the same square footage on the west north. So what's up there now? There's about 4 or 5 bedrooms, 2 baths, full baths.
Yeah, on each side, I believe there's four bedrooms. And each 2 bedrooms has a bathroom, so there's probably 4 bathrooms up there.
Total.
Yeah.
And then you had that one little area where they gave medicine and stuff.
Right, it was almost like a little pharmacy type. room.
Yeah, but you would knock all that out, open it up as an open space, and then come back and build a conference room, an office, a glass window for Michelle, and I think they would use the north door. Not the general door on the west side. Is there any discussion on using the 50,000 to go out for demo crew, or we're running out of time too, I get it. We do have, 1.5 million in capital projects for next year. You guys did see the window proposals today. It was all talked about in budget work sessions.
So say we go down to 2 buildings total,
You still
3,
Yeah.
be 3 with the ambulance shed.
in the sheriff's office currently, but
Yeah, well,
potential.
yeah, but would we get public health moved down there too?
There's room.
There's room, but what I'm getting at is, okay, so if you put Dave in the northwest corner, where would you put public health?
That whole south is still open. I think we have one nonprofit in there. They could easily fit in the middle, because we still have 2 or 3 in the middle that are prepared, ready, open.
I don't know if everyone would agree with me or not, but you tell me what your thoughts are, Jake. I think the county, as far as the north side would go, the county attorney could be on one side and the public health could be on the east side, because there's a ton of room there. If it was remodeled correctly, I think you could get both on the north side very easily. Some people might not agree with me, but that's just my thoughts from what I've seen down there.
Yeah, you got that one open too with the glass that's faced the conference room. And we talked about putting that stub wall in there to keep the veteran stuff and anybody that uses the conference kitchen area. You don't have that whole open hallway, you would have a closed off hallway. So the county staff up to the north would not hear or
And the public health has the classroom area there, which at the Heritage, they have that big meeting area, which used to be the dining area that is actually bigger, so. If they had large group gatherings or whatever, there's plenty of space for that too.
Yeah, if you guys need a tour again, I mean, I could work with one of you at a time to show you the building again and see what that has to offer. I guess the first step is, what do you guys want to do with the old engineer's office, which is probably only about 2 months away? And then potentially having a for sale sign on the LEMC. I mean, I think you guys can see how fast buildings can go up. I think contractors looking at projects. I shocked, the engineer's office is almost ready to be insulated and sheetrocked. The ceiling's already sheetrocked. They're putting outlets in and data jacks in now. I guarantee you, it won't be long, they'll be putting paint on the wall.
Well, I'm not opposed to spending some money to tear some stuff down and figure it out. I think we could take Dave down and figure out where he wants to be and what exactly we need to gut. But I feel like before we spend any money on that, we need to have a plan as to where everything's moving. Are we gonna move next door? Election's coming in here. Dave and Jeff, if Dave goes down there, is Jeff going down there? Where's Jeff going?
It just seems like we keep talking about this for the past 4 years.
Well, and I think it's time we do something. I definitely think we need to get rid of at least that building and,
And I want to prepare the board for, I think we know, right? There's one union contract coming up out of GB. You know, before you guys make a vote on whatever it is, I just shared with you $96,000 of GB. Which department's gonna take that? Which one are we gonna give so much to? 92,000 is not a lot of money. When there's 8 departments that come out of it and buildings, and I think they are trying to make us cut government, and it's gonna be up to this board, whoever it is, to figure out where that $90,000 a year is gonna go. I think we trimmed a lot of budgets in the budget work session, but now we know the law is there, signed by the governor, a 2% to GB and a 2% to RSB. So bring some ideas back. I don't know if you guys want to work on some ideas, take Dave down there. I mean, if you guys want to have a meeting down there in the future. You guys want somebody to work on a plan, look at some stuff. I mean, do you guys want to gut the engineer's office when that was asked last week, I think by Roman, what can he take out of there? And I'm a strong believer that anything that is screwed to the courthouse, that should stay with the courthouse, but we need to discuss what can he all take out of there, the countertops, the desk. We can go back and find out who paid for things, but, is he gonna leave that room as a big, wide open, gutted area? Which is fine, to an aspect. Get the windows done hopefully in October, November, and then who's gonna move back over there? I don't think that whole area needs to be a storage area. Or is that where we put EMA? Those are all options. I don't know if we need that big of area either, right? Maybe once a year. We could easily be put down with a heritage too.
well, I'm not opposed to us being at the Heritage either. I just, I feel like we just need to have a plan. If we're gonna make a move, let's plan this move out. And do it all at once.
And we've done great efficiencies throughout the county. Is there room to put the driver's license into the treasurer's office? Probably is now. Does that leave open EMA in the bottom front corner? Just throwing out ideas. Just to make us think of what is the most efficient, where they need to work out of, where they're public accessible to the public, for some departments that's who they deal with. And you're right, if we get rid of the LAMC, say by November, December, what does that look like for getting the rest of the storage stuff down to the Heritage? Is somebody gonna help Dave? Is Dave gonna do it all by himself? I think my opinion is we get the engineer's office settled in. We see what's left over, either in the machine room or in his office. We have an auction and get rid of that. That's the second step. And then we figure out how much stuff has to be moved to the Heritage. And hopefully by that time, Dave's moving into the Heritage November, December. So then we can erase that budget for next budget. All ideas, bring them, share them with us all. Put it back on the tax roll. Which really doesn't mean anything because it's just, we get 2% tax asking. So hopefully we get to collect the new construction. Any other ideas, comments? We just cannot leave buildings half empty or office space empty. Gotta have a future and a plan. So, if you guys have ideas, share them, or anything you guys wanna move forward with. Get the engineer moved, see what's left, sell some stuff. And I guess we'll wait for July 1st budget to start over. All right. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, thank you.
Discuss fiscal year 26-27 employee salaries, wages. I fielded some questions last week from the payroll department that we still don't have
Yeah, I gave you
5
that.
people. So next week we'll see the resolution to approve the wages and salaries. So I don't know if Sheila wants to explain this, she gave us a sheet this morning. We still have discussion, if you guys want to discuss anything on on Gina Wegman. And then the 2 new custodians, Stacy and is it Sherry?
It's Shirley
Sherry.
Editor.
Remember we started those guys about, 60 days ago at $17 an hour. I don't know if we had discussion to give them a COLA, cost of living adjustment for July 1st. A 4% would be 68 cents. And then the 2 in-house land use administrator, you guys okay with that 4%? And then the safety coordinator with that 4% on those 2 salaries. Those are not an hourly position. So I think it'd be awful hard to figure the 4% of the $1.50 per hour. I think you have to take the current amount and throw a percent on that current amount compared to an hourly rate.
Right.
Because some of those jobs intermix with their other full-time positions. Anything else to add, Sheila? These are the 5 that payroll department, myself, and Sheila do not know what this board wants on those 5 individuals. So I would just open up for discussion. If you guys want to say a hard no, whatever. We'll do the 2 custodians. Remember, if I can recall, Dave gets $3 is what we talked about in budget work session. Zach and Deb get the $1.50. We never talked about the 2 part-time newly hired custodians. You guys want to keep them at 17?
So it's been 60 days.
I would say it's been 60 days.
If not, it's really close. I asked Dave about it, he was thinking it was, but I didn't check into it.
Otherwise, they stay there until we do a wage adjustment. I mean, the part-time people, our part-time people at the EMS are getting a 4%. It's gonna be hard to keep and retain $17 an hour jobs, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that. I think we need to go up to 68 cents.
On those 2. Because part-time is not spelled out in the handbook about probation or anybody else different with the 4% to the 2 part-time custodians.
It's personal preference, but let's do motions if we can, so we have it in the file. Whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it separate and all in chunks for Sheila's sake.
Yep.
CYA.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
You make that motion for
68 cents for the 2 part-time custodians.
Thank you.
effective July 1st.
July 1st.
Is there a second to that? Motion by Steve to adjust the 2 part-time custodians from $17 to $17.68 effective July 1st. I'll second. Any more discussion on the motion about the 2 part-time custodians?
I'm not sure we're being on 2 months.
It will be 3 months on July
Or
1st.
3 months.
Yeah, this does not go into effect until July 1st. They're part-time, they work an average of 5 to 8 hours a week, so.
I guess in the scheme of things, it's pretty minimal.
Very minimal. If there's no other discussion, we'll do a roll call. Steve? Isaac?
Aye.
Travis?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Jake, aye, motion carried. So then the other 3 here is land use administrator. I think in the budget we did do a 4%, but we just need to confirm. Land use administrator, Ray Armel. It goes against the salary that they were given many years ago. Like Ray, there's gonna be some, solar projects, remember the whole project area that New Hampton transfer, we're gonna see some more land use stuff between solar and potential wind. You guys wanna freeze that one? It's up to you. We still need somebody to be the administrator of the ordinance. And then he does bring the final checklist with all the county officers that sign off on a land use agreement. You guys wanna do it 2%? Just throwing out ideas. You guys wanna do it even $8,000?
Make a motion to go with a 4% increase to 827502 effective July 1st.
For land use administrator? Was there a second?
I'll second.
That's good.
Scott. Motion by Steve, second by Scott to approve effective July 1st, an increase of 4% to the land use administrator, Ray Armel. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Motion is carried. Safety coordinator, attend quarterly meetings, you guys know what she does. Current is 2,060. This is on top of her full-time job with the engineer's office, just like Ray was on top of his other full-time job.
Motion to go with a 4% increase, $82.40 to $2142.40 effective July 1st for safety coordinator.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Scott. For a 4% increase on July 1st to the safety coordinator, Renee Carey. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye, anybody opposed, motion carried. And then the top one, we've discussed this many times, but needed a final decision so we can prepare the document for next week's Board action on payroll. Current of Gina is 2941. You guys see the 4%. I know Sheila, it was asked if it was in your budget, and I guess is it in your budget?
Yes, it is. And she's the only one on the county that has not got a cost of living raise.
But she took, I'm thinking last year.
Yeah, but that was all of your guys' approval.
I understand that, but the other thing is, we got
And
other clerks in the courthouse that are also way under that $29.
And she was getting paid less than the previous deputy.
Is there a motion to adjust for July 1st? If you don't want the percent, is there something different? If not,
Looking up the cost of living was 3.8. Is that something you guys would entertain?
any discussion on the last one? Not hearing anything, sorry.
I think you probably should get a motion to keep it set as that effective July 1, then just for records clear. Sorry. If that's the plan.
Is there a motion?
Or set the wage at whatever the number is effective July 1.
Yeah, we're doing that next week for everybody.
Oh, okay, so you have a comprehensive?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Just wanted it somewhere in the record we voted on.
Yeah. These are the unfinished ones that we're still needed some more. Yeah, so every year, I just hold it up, but it's not completely done yet.
This is
Every year.
last year's.
We approve the wage, 25, 26 wages effective.
Wash the windows, don't forget.
Yeah, I know. But it shows everybody in the county, EMS, sheriffs, public, everybody. If there's no more on that, moving on to discuss future agenda items. Next week, we'll hopefully award a window contractor. Remind the county courthouse, we are having a power outage tonight, I believe, at 4:00, 4:30. Denny's working on the last machine room switchover. There will be a little bit of a change order. They gotta add a junction box to where the wires come from the attic. They're gonna move the panel to the hallway area where it has all its clearances for working clearances of electrical panel. It's a little bit shorter run. I haven't talked to Chuck yet, but I know the junction box above the panel will be a change order. The rest of the stuff should not be. It's actually a little bit shorter distance where it was supposed to go, so. Should be doing that tonight. And then hopefully Denny can start working on his projects in the machine room with an isolated ground protection. Otherwise, I don't have anything else. You guys, we'll have some EMA discussion next Monday. We'll see how the EMA votes tomorrow night on job description and the future outlook of EMA funding. I believe I can share that in the property tax reform bill, the way I understand it, the last version of the last second of the bill, there was a paragraph added for 29C. David, help me out. It talks about a 3% property tax increase to EMA funding.
So my reading of it is that it limits the property tax funding from all sources, which would include the county and or the cities and or any others from 29C that are specified, beginning July 1, 2027 to 103% of what was funded in this current, this upcoming fiscal year.
So we can easily do that math. The 5,000 that this board has given for July 1st will only give about $2,000. Right? You take the 65,000 times 3%. 1,950. 1,950.
The more important thing is that's the overall funding for the EMA.
Correct.
So unless, and I don't know this, I haven't looked into it, I don't know that it was interpreted yet, because it's only a week old or less than a week old. I suppose there's a mechanism whereby the cities agree to throw in more money for this, the 26-27 fiscal year somehow, and then that's the number that's used to compute on July 1, 2027. Someone could make that argument, but I don't know if there's support. We'll find out tomorrow night. But the bottom line is whatever their funding operation was from public funds for the total of fiscal year 26-27 can only be 103% of that for 27-28.
Yep.
So just like your GB is capped at 2%.
Correct.
Essentially, what money his agency brings in from the public is capped at 3% starting next July.
Well, if that's what they do come up with, but that was my intent, is to get the cities to
Oh, I'm with you.
pay one of their fair share.
Right, so I mean, if the cities don't throw in the next fiscal year, 26-27, just by logic, he would have to operate his overall entire agency with whatever you guys give him this year plus 3% starting July 1 of next year. Which I don't know if that would cover his wages and benefits, let alone all the other projects and needs and everything else that's in there.
So future agenda will be on next week for his other positions too, that he still is on status, but he has not took a EMS call or a medical examiner call. So
That's tomorrow night at 6, is that right?
6:00. Yep. So there'll be more to come to the Board of Supervisors next Monday on the outcome of that and if we need to do anything. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So, second.
Motion by Scott, second by Travis to adjourn at 9:58. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion is carried.